Hey guys, Slender here. How's everybody doing? So we have some new patch notes. This is 2 days old. I don't know how it managed to slip by without me noticing, but it did. And, here we are. So I apologize for that. It is 2 days delayed. So not their fault, my fault. But I'm going to go ahead and read the whole thing. And yeah, let's get right into it. It's a long one. It's a long one. So hope you guys have about 45 minutes. Anyway, here we go. Check it out. Oh man, so you guys know how I do it. I read the whole thing. So hopefully there will be timestamps in the different categories, the different sections, so you guys can just skip to the stuff that you want to read and or at least hear about. Oh man, so October 27th, 2022. Thank you, Luxandra. Oh no, this is Ainwin. Hey Ainwin, what's up? So we're gonna start with combat and AI, notable fixes. So they fix an issue that caused impact effects to not always play when taking melee damage from the Warhammer Lost Knight. Fix an issue that caused corruption enemies to not play their running animation while navigating. Heart Gem ability Vine visual effects now viewable at a distance to 75 meters. Admiral Black Powder's attacks are now subject to expedition mutation based difficulty scaling. Fix an issue that caused players to continually slide while in death's door state. That actually happened to me one time. It's pretty funny. Fix an issue where the cunning heart rune of Stoneform used naming inconsistent with the other heart runes. Fix an issue with enemies showing a stunned icon when they were not successfully stunned by an attack. The heart rune Stoneform fortifying form now applies fortify separately from the Stoneform status effect. Interactions are now disabled while aiming. Polish the sound effects of for the Hellmouths. Status effects will now apply the strongest stack instead of the most recent stack to targets. Updated all magic weapon buffers for weapon swapping. Swapping from magic weapons should be more predictable. And they updated the sound effects for bandits in Brimstone Sands, several ancients in Brimstone Sands, and more several ancients in Brimstone Sands. Expedition AI, they fixed an issue that caused Anpu's Infernal Slam to kill players through Death's Door. Fixed an issue where Archdeacon Azamela would not trigger a victory wipe properly when all players were at Death's Door. Fixed an issue where the fire from Thorpe's Darkness Calls is not able to continuously apply damage to the player. Fixed an issue with passive AI and Tempest Heart ignoring threat and taunts. And reduce the damage dealt by Heru's Divine Doom. Invasions, they fixed an issue where multiple Void Destroyers could overlap each other. For Outpost Rush, they fixed an issue where healing numbers were visible when the buff from killing Baroness Hain in Outpost Rush was obtained. Fixed an issue where other group members' invites would be withdrawn if another member accepted an invite. Fixed an issue where the queue window wouldn't always close after invites pop up for Arena and Outpost Rush, and removed the infused endurance potion from the armory. PvP arenas, they fixed an issue where attributes wouldn't display properly when players were in the spectator box in PvP arenas, and fix an issue with accepting an arena invite while in an expedition. Opening an expedition now removes active invites from the player. War, they fixed an issue where war invites wouldn't display if a player was logged out or bracketed or backed out to the main menu when they were sent. Some mechanics, dodge, they fix an issue where rapidly canceling a light attack while rolling multiple times can cause stamina to enter an exhausted state. And they fix an issue where you could get stuck in the dodge roll animation if you rapidly swapped weapons. Navigation, they fix an issue where AI would sometimes veer to the left when pathing. Perks, they adjusted issue where the base duration and max duration of the Shirking Fortification perk was set to the same value. Base value was meant to be lower, and they reduced the duration of Fortify from 6 seconds to 4 seconds. So it looks like Shirking Fort's getting a nerf. Also fix an issue where perks that provide additional damage instances, examples are Chain, Keenly Jagged, Augmented Frozen, etc., or not providing Heart Gem charge. Fix an issue where the Shirking Elemental damage perks was applying damage to all targets hit by the next attack and not just the next hit. Fix an issue where the Fortifying Whirlwind perk had a slash damage bonus and the Fortify combined into a single effect, resulting in it not obtaining all the benefits of each effect. They separated the effect into 2 effects and properly categorized each properly. Fix an issue where the Runeglass taunt gems were not properly working with Berserk, Repost, and Defender's Resolve AoE taunts. Updated the Keen Speed tooltip to match the updated duration of 5 seconds, and also increased the max duration so that any effect that extends the duration of haste effects could extend Keen Speed's duration. And updated the Mortal Empowerment perks tooltip to add additional clarity into functionality. For the weapons, Blunderbuss, they fixed an issue where splitting grenade mini grenades would not always detonate in sync with each other. Fixed an issue where the effects from the Blunderbuss passive on a roll were persisting through weapon swaps, and fixed an issue where the effects from the Blunderbuss ultimate unload were persisting through weapon swaps. For the bow, they fixed an issue that caused incorrect arrow projectile sizes when using the bow passive arrow range. Now all primary arrow shots will have a radius of 0.15, and all charge shots will have a radius of 0.33. Updated evade shot projectile to work correctly with passive arrow range with a radius of 0.33. Updated explosive arrow projectile size to have a radius of 0.33 from 0.05. Wow, so the explosive arrow projectile size is much, much bigger. Increased, was that 6 times bigger? Increased the recovery prior to the dodge cancel window after the final shot of Bow's rapid shot. Dodge cancel window was previously too short after the shot, allowing players to easily bypass the final shot's recovery, as well as exit the action prior to the arrow hitting the target. Greatsword, they added additional clarity to the Faultless Defender's passive tooltip, fixed a typo in the description for the Greatsword's Intimidating Roar Mastery node, updated the Faultless Defender tooltip to clarify that the rend is only applies to attackers that hit the player while the effect is active. Updated the Greatsword Ultimate Undying Defiance tooltip to include additional clarity on a block hit being required to obtain the healing bonus. Fixed a typo in the Relentless Refresh Upgrade tooltip, and updated the Relentless Power tooltip to better describe functionality. For the Great Axe, they fixed an issue that caused the Maelstrom ability to absorb friendly and neutral projectiles. Hatchet, they added additional clarity to the Hatchet Feral Rush tooltip to indicate what attack staggers. Added additional clarity to the Hatchet's Persistent Hindrance ability description. Fixed an issue that allowed Defy Death to trigger while down. Fixed an issue with Hatchet aimed throw animations causing deformations to the player's face. Updated Rending Throw to not interrupt player movement during the throw. Adjusted some timing of the attack and cancel windows to fit better with the new functionality. Updated Social Distancing to not interrupt player movement during the throw if the player is moving forwards or sideways, but if they are strafing backwards or standing idle, they will perform the backwards dodge. And they adjusted the timing of the attack and cancel windows to fit better with the new functionality while moving. They removed the stagger from social distancing to compensate for the added versatility to ensure the ability remains mainly focused on zoning, and also increase the damage from 100% to 115% weapon damage, and increase the slow from 25% to 30%. For the Life Staff, not a lot going on here. Fix an issue where the Divine Embrace upgrades, Shared Struggle, and Rebound were not consistently bouncing to the nearby targets when activated. For the musket, they fix an issue where impact effects for the musket may play even if the shot missed, allowed player to move while throwing Sticky Bomb, removed the stagger from Sticky Bomb to compensate for increased usability, allowed the loading of both Power Shot and Powder Burn to be performed while moving. Ooh. Ballistic Advantage passive, blank, updated passive to no longer remove damage fall off entirely, but reduce damage fall off by 50% after 50 meters. Hit your mark passive, they updated the passive to apply to all hits and not just headshots and critical hits. Ooh, updated passive to apply to all hits and not just headshots and crits. Okay. Spear, they made it so movement speed is not completely halted while tossing the spear's javelin. Additionally, they made it so tapping the ability button while aiming would throw the javelin instead of sheathing it. For the Void Gauntlet, they fixed an issue where the Essence Rupture upgrade, Overflowing Essence, wouldn't trigger if the enemy dies before the debuff ended. For World AI, they fixed an issue that caused Cloud Hulk's animation to stutter during patrol navigation. Fixed an issue that caused Corrupted Cyclops' Eye beam attack to not deal damage. Fixed an issue that caused smoke trails from Lost Navigator's pistols to originate from the incorrect gun. Fix an issue where the Ancient Mage's spawns wouldn't die immediately when they reach 0 health. Improve pathing of wolves and other AI creatures while patrolling to ensure they more accurately reach their destinations. And they reduced the range on camera shake applied by the Corrupted Cyclops to 7 meters. Economy and progression. So added the smelting, refining, crafting clothing to some named enemies in Brimstone. Adjusted the rarity for certain schematics from epic to legendary to match the craftable item. Adjusted the tooltip for umbral shards. The tooltip on umbral shards should be easier to understand. And based on player feedback, they resolved cloth crafted dresses not using the correct attribute and gem slot chance. Great catch, explorers. Fixed a typo on chitin armor pieces. Oh, I wonder what that is. Fixed an issue that caused the icons for some items to display incorrectly. Fixed an issue where the greatsword Wadao dropped at tier 4 from the Dynasty Shipyard Mutator. Fix an issue with localization where the Tormentor's Finger Curse ring was incorrectly named as a Herald's Finger Curse. Fix an issue with the Crystalline Crusher Warhammer not using its updated appearance. The Bow Fangs of Seche has had its Plague Strikes perk swapped for Plague Crits. The Lifestaff Petra Ataraxia has had its Plague Strikes perk swapped for Refreshing. The Prerogative Gauntlet has been renamed to Naturally Cold, and the text has been changed to Some Things Are Just Cold by Nature. Updated the crafting recipe for specific crafted weapons with a filled gem slot to include the gem in the crafting recipe. Updated the name of the perk Spirit Alignment to Soul Alignment and adjusted the description, and updated the War/Invasion ammo to no longer have weight. For housing, a schematic is no longer required to craft the Mother's Love statuette. Ash Casual Chair now uses Ash Woodstain instead of Maple Woodstain in its crafting recipe. First house purchase is now a flat 5,000 coins. Tier 1 houses now unlock at level 1 territory standing, previously level 10. Fix an issue on Grimoire Lectern that caused certain camera angles to muffle its sound. Progression, they changed requirements for achievements Handy Person, I Got This, and General Contractor to be more reasonable based on player feedback, and territory standing gain from town board quests increased by 40%. Rewards and loot, they added fishing gathering set to the named enemies in Brimstone. Now here's the big one that I was been waiting to tell you guys. Adjusted rare trophy component drops to be less frustrating to obtain. So those are going to go down in price big time, probably, most likely. I have no idea, but I would imagine they would. So that's pretty, like, that should be in bold, I think. Armadillos now drop game meat when skinned, while still dropping armadillo meat as a rare drop. Epic weapon quests now reward 1 gypsum orb per completed quest in each quest line. Fix an issue that caused some small cactus to not give the bonus motes when using a 600 plus sickle with an alignment perk. Fix an issue where some items from casts were not giving proper salvage items. Fix an issue where some level 60 plus named elite enemies would not drop obsidian gypsum. Fix an issue where the expedition entrance user interface was not showing certain items with the correct gear score. Glyph stones now have the same chance to drop from containers as from enemies. And they also boosted the drop rate for glyph stones that drop in particularly small POIs. So that's definitely good because it took forever to farm those things, and you're going to need like a lot of them, you know, to make a full set. Music pages are awarded by crafting stations, or music pages that are awarded by crafting stations now only drop once per day per station. And the quest Search of Plunder now rewards a ring. The music pages for Weaver's Web, Soup of the Day, and My Home can be acquired by using the Loom, Cooking, or Engineering crafting station. The player's first craft at each station has a 20% chance of resulting in a music page. Updated the name Greatsword, Wo Dao, to properly display as Tier 5 in the crafting menu. Taxes. They removed the Change Taxes and Fees button at the governor's desk now that those rates are fixed. So no more hiking the taxes up or dropping them down. They're all at a fixed rate. Trade skills. So crafting. The description for rune glass cases now indicates that players can embed a gem at a stone cutting table. Fix an issue with crafting higher tier breach materials, giving less stone cutting experience than crafting lower tier materials. Fix an issue with dungeon replica greatswords having engineer salvage tables instead of weaponsmithing salvage tables. Remove the 3 recipes for shields that allowed the use of the runestone stopwatch, as there isn't a point in crafting a 600 gear scored shield, as a shield cannot roll legendary. And they reworked the crafting categories for weaponsmithing and engineering. Adjusted fishing to cast when standing further back from edge on raised platforms above water. Oh, so yeah, before when you did that, like it would, you know, break the line and it wouldn't cast. Maybe now you can if you're standing back and there's something in front of you. Maybe. I think that's what they're trying to say. And if that's the case, then awesome, because that was very annoying. For the expeditions, some notable fixes. The Tough Times Greatsword is now craftable using materia, and Blackguard's Greatsword is now available to craft using dungeon materia as well. Global mutators. They fix an issue where the combustible mutation tooltips showed outdated information about damaging AI, and they removed the damaging AI portion and added clarification to tooltips. Added custom sound effects for the chest celebration that occurs at the end of a mutated expedition. Barnacles and Black Powder. They fix an issue where some of the young alligators' attacks resulted in 0 damage in Barnacles and Black Powder. Dynasty Shipyard. They resolved an issue where the boss music in Dynasty would stop playing if the party died during the boss fight and attempted it again. Genesis. They fixed an issue in Genesis where the blighted greenskeeper's poison pool would persist after a party wipe, and they also fixed an issue where the interaction for using the purifying flame would sometimes fail to happen in Genesis. Starstone Barrows. The description for the Starstone Barrows expedition has been updated. Tempest Heart. They toned down the brightness on High Maiden Lie's spinning dragon attack in Tempest Heart expedition to be more friendly for players with photo sensitivity. Collision has also been updated to be more accurate in Isabella's Arena and Tempest Heart Expedition. Depths. They fixed an issue where Thorpe's Hunger of the Void attack would not be disabled upon his death, and resolved an issue where incorrect footsteps sound effects would sometimes play in expeditions. The Ennead. They added rock footsteps in Ennead, and they also resolved an issue where General Crassus was missing subtitles for his death. Some social fixes, specifically friends. They fix an issue where characters in friends lists couldn't be removed after a world merge, and they fix an issue where block players were not showing up in the block list. I didn't read that incorrectly. That's actually what it said. If you guys are just listening, I'm not dumb, okay? Sometimes I am. Actually, I am a lot. UX and UI. Adjusted facial animation for the headbanging emote. Changed the currency icon for Azoth to remove confusion between vials and currency icons. Fixed an issue when wearing Shroud of the Pharaoh pants. Icons for instruments are now larger, making instruments easier to identify. Revised camp skin tooltip to reflect how it currently works in the game. Apply skins at campsite instead of inventory. Unfactioned company members now display company crests, including faction colors. Updated infused silk icon. Regular expeditions remaining counter is now removed from Soul Trial Necropolis of Sutek, since it does not spend an expedition counter. Added a dark background behind newsletter button on the main menu to make it more visible. Added new unread icon to lore pages. Added warning countdown timer to musical performances when an activity timeout is imminent. Double click to learn the recipe is now gone from the action menu while the item is in settlement storage. Players can still learn the recipe while it's in the settlement storage by choosing the option in the item action menu, but double clicking only moves the item to the player's inventory. They fix an issue when unblocking or unlocking the first mutated expedition. The reward was not centered on the rewards banner. Fix an issue where attributes wouldn't display properly if a shield was equipped without a sword. Fix an issue where currency ingredients were not listed correctly in the crafting menu. Fix an issue where the main story quest waypoints would show in the compass during Outpost Rush and 3v3s. Fix an issue where Platinum was using the incorrect icon when tracked on the compass. Fix an issue where Runeglass items and chitin padding stated that they could be socketed in any item with the socket. Updated the text for each item to mention the specific item types of items they can be socketed in. Ooh. So does that mean you could only put those in the chitin armor? Fix an issue where Runeglass items and chitin padding stated they could be socketed in any item with a socket. Oh, probably meaning they can't be socketed in rings and stuff. I don't know. Or wait, I don't. Well, we'll find out. I'll find out today, and maybe I'll come back and leave a comment. Or maybe you guys always know. You guys always tell me in the comments when I ask something. So what are they talking about? Fix an issue where the crafting screen would show the wrong perk as being disabled unless the item was crafted at a higher gear score. Similarly, the tooltip in the crafting screen was updated to hide the correct disabled perk. Fix an issue where the engineering icon for the forge header wasn't using the correct icon. Fix an issue where the store, crafting, and setting screens did not close when clicking outside their main window area like all other screens. Fix an issue with misaligned legendary fish icons to now match the model seen in game. Fix capitalization issues in Arena Spectator message. Fix some instances where an item would show a lower rarity than it should. Instrument recipes now properly display the correct rarity. Updated trade skill screen to show 3 reward markers instead of 4. When crafting with your last crafting mod item, it will now properly be cleared before your next craft. In-game store, they fix an issue that caused incorrect preview animations when cycling through weapons quickly. Fix an issue where the player would repeatedly reload the blunderbuss during skin previews. That was hilarious. Fix an issue with the store preview not showing the correct preview if you already have a skin equipped. Fix an issue where weapon idle animations wouldn't play properly after previewing shields in the store, and players can now search for words that include accented characters without using the accents. Quality of life, they fix an issue on the container opening screen where stackable items would show more than once if you created a new stack. Fix an issue where musical instruments were showing weapon attributes in the crafting screen. Inventory and storage now allow for sorting in ascending and descending order. Redesign the presentation of journal documents. Territory planning screen now shows coin total. Updated the trade skill recipe list to show more accurate tooltips for the items being unlocked. And weapon equipped tooltip no longer appears after interacting with the craft button. Trading posts, contracts viewed at the trading post will now correctly display expertise scaling information and updated error message when joining a musical performance while using the trading post. World experience, audio now plays when using the dig a grave, panic, and stab emotes. Fixed the bug where settlement and outpost ends had incorrect names. Fixed issues with visual effects, materials, and collision in Brimstone Sands. Updated the mountain temple stairs and surrounding cliffs for smoother pathing, and updated remnant boss encounter cooldown. Brimstone Sands changes, they adjusted the cutscene for unraveling the mystery quest to allow for full voiceover duration across all languages, adjusted the drop rate on cactus flower item for Flower of the Sands quest, adjusted map pin for unraveling the mystery, adjusted timing and polished some of the sound effects for the sandworm, fixed an issue that caused screen blur when opening journal during Head of the Snake quest, fixed an issue where not all servers were marked for the Honoring the 19th quest. Fixed an issue where the interaction at the Temple of Thoth teleporter was duplicated. Fixed an issue where the map pin was not present in the Demon's Cauldron quest. Fixed an issue where the rotating puzzle rings were missing sound effects. Fixed an issue with the visual effects in Apophis Trial Exit Portal. Fixed incorrect target AI name for the God's Demand quest. Hellmouths now have correct compass icon. Mature Highlands, Scorpions, and Brimstone Sands have been adjusted. Players can now chart Scholar's Rare Fishing Hotspot and Oasis Secret Fishing Hotspot without wading deep into the water. Remove line breaks from Imhotep's dialogue to improve subtitle display. Removed redundant map pin during the Antiquarian's Dream Quest. Removed redundant task pin on Ancient Code Pillar interactable object. Removed unnecessary map pins from the Power of the Ancients quest. Set the pin for the entrance of the Ordeal of the Nine Gates to persist through the duration of the puzzle. Updated Imhotep respawn rate and updated the map pin text for Eye of Horus quest. Some notable fixes: they added a message if a player attempts to fish or start a musical performance while in combat, added the ability to invite players without factions to accompany, changed wording to more accurately reflect the cooking of baits that can be crafted, fix an issue where clicking on an open song title in the song select menu would cause animation glitching, fix an issue where the unsheathing sound did not always play when selecting an instrument in musical performances, fixed an issue where the Windsward War Camp was not showing on the map, increased Fae the Last Protector spawn rate when there are multiple players in the area, Invisible Tree and Ebon Scale Reach has been removed, prevented musical performances from being created inside houses, resolved an issue where Grace O'Malley's Polish voice-over would cut off, resolved an issue where the sound effects for destroying nodes in the Blossoming Threat quest would not play. So some quest changes, added audio to incubating corruption nodules during Adiana's Fountain quest, resolved an issue where corruption nodules wouldn't play sound effects during Adiana's Fountain quest, added missing lore pages and chapters or removed from achievement requirements, added missing voiceover with NPCs Watcher Lynn, Watcher Reynolds, Commander Hakim, Alchemist Zai, Hughes Duquette, Jonas Alazar, and Adjudicator Hansen. Clarified location for completing specific Syndicate faction quests. Fix an issue where completed quest pins did not appear on the map or compass. Fix an issue where the bones were not counting for the bones of Barkamedes quest. Fix an issue where Foreman's Ledger Amrine quest couldn't be completed. Fix an issue with faction quests not showing the correct location on the map. Fix an issue where the Reaper with the Reaper Locust Expedition quest so it no longer requires a player to be at the Shattered Obelisk location in the world. Now the player can join the quest into the expedition from anywhere in the world and it will successfully progress. Fix typo in the lore between colleagues. Fix typos within main story quest rewards. Remove the lingering corruption at the daughter well after completing quest Adriana's Fountain. Remove the weight from the transference seal, transference charm, transference icon, transference ward used in the protective weird armor, the darkened agent, shadowed agent, shaded agent, and tenebrous agent used in the shrouded intent armor, and the spark of battle, spark of adrenaline, spark of willpower, and spark of impulse used in battle's embrace. Remove the cleave, the corrupt elite faction mission quest due to missing interaction point. Southguard scout kills now count towards wooden hearts and iron heads in the quest Forging the Azure Ravager. Tiger now drops large fang. Added some additional lighting to Commander Thorpe's room in the depths. Adjusted our loot buckets to make more named items available to drop. Okay, so we're going to read this one again because it sounds important. They adjusted our loot buckets to make more named items available to drop, period. These items are in the global bucket but may be added to specific bosses or creatures in the future. Crafting and trade skill event uses user interface clearly explains experience gain and bonus in the tooltip. Fix an issue causing Admiral Blackpowder's barrels to get stuck in walls and go through gates. Fix an issue that caused lasers to pierce arcane protection barrier. Fix an issue where the tier label was shown for items with no tier in the kitchen, smelter, or gypsum kiln crafting stations. Harvest barley dye was previously available at tier 3 kitchens, but its level requirement meant it was intended for tier 4 kitchens. It will now be unlocked at tier 4 kitchens. Updated the sword and shield mastery images to include a shield. Notable fixes: they adjusted Scout Hood to cover hair. Aegis of the Father Kite Shield and Orichalcum Kite Shield can now be dyed. Discarded item bag now shows proper weight limit. Fix an visual issue with Frostwall and Creeping Cold Ice Gauntlets. Fix an issue where Bacchanal and Conviviality armor sets were displayed as medium equipment load instead of light. Fix an issue where Wicked Warrior's Great Axe was held incorrectly. Fix an issue where Azoth Reflector's sound effects were too low. Fix an issue with Deep Springs Succor helmet clipping. Fixed issues that prevented amethyst-based rune glass from applying proper visual effects when slotted into weapons. Fixed visual issues with the Bloodthirsty Count skin. Fix an issue with the company roster faction icons not updating to reflect current affiliation. Adjusted the volume of the thunder that plays in the intro cutscene. Fixed a visual issue with Fallen Spirit's breastplate apparel skin, Metal Raven gloves, Bloodthirsty Count apparel skin, Death Coronation boots, Forsaken cloth hat, Hypatia armor skin, and fix an issue where players' weapons would not be hidden when viewing the faction mission board. Fix an issue with animation breaking after an AFK kick while in the store. Fix an issue with animations not working correctly when previewing emotes in the shop. Hovering into and out of an emote icon will no longer end the preview animation. Fix an issue with armor dyeing where cloth from an applied skin would not be cleared for your underlying armor when opening the dye window. Fix an issue with clipping when crouching at Balfazu's mantle. Fix an issue with clipping while holding a weapon for the Twitch drop armor skin Death's Beckoning. Fix an issue with Imhotep's Sandstorm phasing. Fix duplicate crest image in the plant crest pack to have appropriate hemp/plant image. Fix French localization for Amrine so the expedition is capitalized. Fix missing voiceover for Johanna Maze. Fix visual issues with the Titania and Dark Scion legging skins. Fix voiceover for Commander Maximo and Imhotep. Players won't hear music instruments if they're interacting with the quest NPC. Polish the sound effects for the turret beam in Brimstone Sands. Remove the clapping sound effect from musical instruments. Resolved an issue where the singing fish housing item would stop playing music when players would leave the area and come back. Updated descriptions for named weapon schematics for consistency. Updated ponder emotes so that the sound effect doesn't continue after ending. Weapon previews no longer break if you have no weapons equipped but have a shield equipped. You can no longer access the inventory while under collision that prevents you from standing. Fix an issue that caused certain war and invasion defensive structures sometimes starting on cooldown when they shouldn't. Fix an issue where active wars may show December 31st for their date. Fix an issue where some faction shop shields were labeled as the incorrect shield type. Fix an issue with wars sometimes failing to reschedule properly after a server crash. Polish several impact sounds within Brimstone Sands. And last but not least, they updated the turkey housing pet to have unique sound effects. Right on. So that's it. If you guys have anything to add, leave it in the comments. That's all I got. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching if you did. And you guys all have a wonderful day. Slender out. Love you guys. Bye.